up, Michigan? Welcome to the multiverse. And in this universe, everything is the same, yet a lot more menacing. Oh, it's been a while since I last invaded your puny existence. Now you're in my world, and it's playoff time in high school football. My name is Scorn Plants, and welcome to State CHAMPS, Michigan's Extra Point. It's time you met my co-conspirator, Scott Burnstein. Later in the show, you'll be burning on those who feast on unsuspecting backfields. Tell us more.
The pass rushing menaces of the MHSAA, the ghouls and the goblins for all the quarterbacks. That's who we'll be talking about very shortly.
Lots of scream outs. We're presented by Lawrence Technological University, even in this universe. And you can earn the right to pummel opposing adversaries at the college level. LTU football has athletic and academic scholarships right now. Recruit yourself by going to ltuathletics.com, but only if you dare. This week, we're recapping Week 9 action. There were some killer matchups. And on the Extra Point Companion podcast, Gibraltar Carlson has been devouring the competition. We caught up with the commander in charge, Landon Grove, and we'll give you zombies a taste of that conversation a little later. But now, my children, a decapitation of some of State CHAMPS coverage from Week 9 of the football season. And because he begged me to do it, here's Lorne. We start with a season on the line Thursday night matchup. Number 25, 5-3 Detroit Cass Tech needing a win to get in the playoffs. On the road to take on 5-3 Orchard Lake St. Mary's with much better playoffs hopes, win or lose. CT junior quarterback Leishawn Mumfield would throw for 4 touchdowns, rush for another as Cass is moving on to the playoffs. 40-7 win over St. Mary's. They'll take on Fortson in the D1 district opener. Both teams got in the postseason. Next to a Michigan-Ohio battle as powerhouse Cincinnati Moeller went traveling north to match wits with our number 1 team in the state, Detroit King. Mr. Football candidate, the junior Dante Moore would have himself a night, throwing for 4 touchdowns. King wins 39-29. The Crusaders, one of the favorites in the upcoming D3 playoffs. We head to the Down River League. Gibraltar Carlson at 7-1 taking on undefeated Woodhaven. Marauders would get 3 rushing scores from Cody Britt as Carlson shocks Woodhaven 28-14 the final. The Down River League ended in a 3-way tie for first with Allen Park, Carlson, and Woodhaven. And to the Saginaw Valley League, the annual tussle between Lapeer and Davison. There were a lot of fireworks in this one, including at the end. Lapeer's David Smith, a 42-yard game-winning field goal. It just goes through as time expires. Lapeer wins a thriller, 38-35 the final. The Lightning will play Rochester Adams in the D1 opener on Friday night. Finally! Back in studio with Scott Burnstein. So much carnage.
Yeah, you know, was that David Smith at Lapeer kicking that game-winning field goal, or was that Matt Prater? I wasn't sure, but David Smith was evoking the echoes of all those great NFL kickers, putting that one through for the dub. Love to see what I got from my PSL peeps, my Cass Tech technicians, and my King Crusaders. Dante Moore is looking like the wonderkin field general we all know he is, a blue chipper, the likes of which we haven't seen in a while.
An assassin!
Yes! And then for Cass Tech, we've heard a lot about Leishawn Mumfield, but don't sleep on that running game. The long arm of the law in the PSL is Kareem Sharif. He's been running the ball gangbusters the last couple years, and I expect him to keep on doing that through the playoffs. And then finally, let's touch on what happened in the Down River League last week with Carlson coming out of nowhere this year. Hats off to Coach Grove. Cody Britt is a baller, just zigging and zagging, moving and grooving, rushing that football for Carlson, looking really good heading into the playoffs. Just really impressed by the type of football we're seeing right now, and we're headed towards the playoffs with all the momentum, with all the wind at our backs, and it's just going to be an outstanding postseason in 2021.
Scott's feeling really good, had a nice feast just before we filmed this morning, so he is satisfied. Hey, Extra Points also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Officials are needed, you miserable worms. Become an official. Maybe a vampire. Become immortal. Go to MHSAA.com for details. I also invite you to listen to the Extra Point Companion audio podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We have a terrifying conversation with Hack Mowry, the digital slaughter manager at StateChampsNetwork.com. See who met their doom and those who made the cut. We also had a chance to cut it up with downriver co-champ Gibraltar Carlson head coach Landon Grove. Here's a sample of what he was chewing on. First up, 8-1 on the season. And before we go into the playoff talk, a lot of work went into just that accomplishment. A lot of wins and some big victories for the boys this season.
Yeah, I mean, it started in the preseason, and we established some goals that we wanted to have, and one of those goals is win the league championship, which we knew was going to be difficult. You know, the Downriver League is a really good league, and it's a good league every year with a lot of good coaches and a lot of good programs. So our kids bought in from the second I got here, late January, early February, and we discussed those goals. They heard those goals, and they took them very seriously. And we've been going at it for a long time, getting ready for this run, and it's just been it's all the credit to the kids. I said it last week. They've bought in. They put the work in the weight room in the summertime. We traveled a lot of 7-on-7s. We went to De La Salle because we wanted to go against some good competition. And we went through at Brighton, so we went to some different places to see what it looks like, so we could try to get there at some point. And our kids have done a great job just accepting that challenge. And obviously, step one accomplished. A conference championship is a conference championship.
Our podcast platform of choice is Shrieker.com. That's not right, Spreaker.com. Just search State Champ Sports. But you can suffer on any platform you choose. We also want to thank our good friends at Hungry Howie's. Special made State Champs pizza pies are ready to eat. Toppings guaranteed to please. Scott Burnstein has information regarding the most sinister of sack masters still unclaimed by Future Factory.
Yeah, we're talking about guys that are collapsing pockets, making life miserable for quarterbacks, wreaking havoc everywhere they go on the gridiron. We're going to start with a terrible twosome, a dynamic duo from the defending state champs in Division I, West Bloomfield's Michael Williams and Brandon Davis-Swain. Between these two guys, you got 25 sacks in the 9 regular season games, 15 from Williams, 10 from Brandon Davis-Swain. Brandon Davis-Swain comes off the edge on the defensive end. Michael Williams, outside linebacker, big, fast, strong, maybe the best on the board left for the taking on the class of 2022. Alex Van Summeren from Garber started as a Michigan commit. Now he's over at Michigan State. He is a force of nature. Grosse Pointe South's Joey Klunder, I call him the human thunderclap. He's a Michigan preferred walk-on, playing really well for Grosse Pointe South this year. Alex DeGreek, the Harvard commit from Rochester Adams, just ferocious in everything he does, bringing that 24-karat magic pass rush for those Highlanders. Moving over to the junior class, Port Huron Northern's Luke Fletcher is a name to know. Reminds me a lot of kind of a combination of Braden McGregor and Aiden Hutchinson. Moving over to the PSL again, with Cass Tech, you got Jalen Thompson. At King, you got Messiah Blair. These are two guys in the class of 23 that are just shooting up recruiting charts, just meteoric rises on the recruiting radar right now. And then let's finish off with some sleepers. Tronice Hammond from Dearborn Crestwood. Not a lot of people know about him, just committed to Morgan State. He's a name you need to know about. And then Sean Field at Catholic Central, a real supersonic sleeper special, a senior, so much motor, so much heart and soul. Someone needs to come in and grab him as a recruit. And then a name to look for next year, Mason Moragan at Warren De La Salle. He's going to be a real name to look for in this offseason.
It's getting hot in here. I love it. Now, before we go, a preview of the first round of playoff massacres. And now I will talk normal. We start downriver. We got a great Division III matchup between two league champs. Riverview, undefeated at 9-0, but they will have to take it on the road and battle 7-2 Allen Park. In the mid-Michigan area, the defending D7 state champs, 6-3 New Lothrop, they open up playoff play on the road at 7-2 Montrose. The Max Bronze champs, 7-2 Madison Lanphier, they head to Livonia to take on 8-1 independent Livonia Clarenceville in a D4 opener. Back to Division III, probably the best district matchup on Friday night. The 2019 state champs, 6-2 and number 23 River Rouge on the road to take on D3 honorable mention, 7-2 Harper Woods. And in D1, number 25, 6-3 Detroit Cass Tech, who had to play their way into the playoffs. They'll be making the short trip to Dearborn to take on the 7-2 KLAA East runners-up, the Fortson Tractors. So, okay, Burnstein, what's got you worked up?
Well, that Harper Woods River Rouge game is the kind of stuff I dream about at night. I mean, Vinny Booth, the quarterback for Harper Woods, Christian Stokes, the West Virginia commit for those Pioneers. You look at what's going on with River Rouge, Christian Johnson, Devontae Miles, so much playmaking in that game. It's going to be a real toss-up. In terms of the Riverview matchup, I'm interested to see what happens at the quarterback position. Preston Thompson, their senior gunslinger, he's out for the season with a broken leg. So you're going to have next man up mentality for the Pirates. That should be an intriguing, subplot. And then with Allen Park, you have one of the most exciting running backs in the Downriver League in the human tsunami, Sunario Hamilton. So it's just going to be a gridiron extravaganza the first week of the playoffs, and I couldn't be more jacked.
Oh, yes. Ladies and germs, that's it for this week. Thanks for participating and being in our dungeon. For Scott Burnstein, I'm Scorn Plant. Happy Halloween and unpleasant dreams. State Champs Extra Point, presented by Lawrence Technological University and Lawrence Tech Athletics. For everything LTU, visit ltu.edu. You can recruit yourself to any of Lawrence Tech's collegiate athletic teams by visiting ltuathletics.com. Also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. And Hungry Howie's, famous for flavor.